logic is logic. That's all I'll say. It's the end of the wonderful one-hoss shay. Just as bubbles do when they burst. All at once and nothing first. How it went to pieces all at once. You see, of course, if you're not a dunce, as if it had been to the mill and ground. Poor old Chase in a heap or mound. When he got up and stared around. What do you think the parson found? Just the hour of the earthquake shock. At 9:30 by the meeting house clock. And the parson was sitting upon a rock. And then something decidedly like a spill, first a shiver and then a thrill, close by the meeting house, on the hill. All at once, the horse stood still. At what the Moses was coming next. He got to fifthly and stopped perplexed. The parson was working on his Sunday text. "Hut up," said the parson, and off went they, drawn by a rat-tailed, ewe-necked bay. "Here comes the wonderful one-hoss shay. Now, small boys, get out of the way." This morning the parson takes a drive. 1st of November, 55. In another hour it will be worn out. And yet, as a whole, it is past a doubt. In the spring and axle and hub, encore! In the back crossbar, as strong as the fore. And the whipple tree, neither less nor more. And the panels just as strong as the floor. And the floor was just as strong as the sills. For the wheels were just as strong as the thills, that there wasn't a chance for one to start. It made it so like in every part. There couldn't be, for the deacon's art. But nothing local, as one might say. A general flavor of mild decay. There are traces of age in the one-hoss shay. 1st of November, the earthquake day. Take it, you're welcome. No extra charge. This is a moral that runs at large, so far as I know, but a tree and truth. In fact, there's nothing that keeps its youth without both feeling and looking queer. Her wakes on the morn of its 100th year. Little of all we value here. Then came 50 and 55. 30 and 40 at last arrive, running as usual, much the same. 1820 came. Handsome carriage, they called it then. 1800 increased by 10. The deacon's masterpiece, strong and sound. 1800, it came and found, as fresh as on Lisbon earthquake day. But there stood the stout old one-hoss shay. Children, grandchildren, where were they? Deacon and deaconesses dropped away. Colts grew horses, beards turned gray. She was a wonder and nothing less. "Do I tell you I rather guess?" "Thar," said the deacon. "Now, she'll do." That was the way he put her through. Found in the pit when the Tana died. Boot top dasher from tough old hide. Through brace, bison skin, thick and wide. Steel of the finest, bright and blue. Spring, tire, axle, linchpin too. Step and prop iron, bolt and screw. The blunt ends frazzled like celery tips, and the wedges flew from between their lips. Never no axe had seen their chips. Last of the timber, they couldn't sell 'em. The hubs of logs from settlers ail 'em, but last like iron for things like these. The panels of whitewood that cuts like cheese. The crossbars were ash from the straightest trees. He sent for lancewood to make the thills. That was for the spokes and floor and sills that couldn't be split nor bent nor broke, where he could find the strongest oak. So the deacon inquired of the village folk to make that place as strong as the rest. His only jest, the way to fix it was, I maintain, that the weakest place must stand a strain. For, said the deacon, 'tis mighty plain it should be so built it couldn't break down. In country and all the country round, that he would build one shay to beat the town with an I do them and an I tell you. But the deacon swore, as deacons do, that a chaise breaks down, but doesn't wear out. And that is the reason, beyond a doubt, above or below or within or without. Find it somewhere you must, and will, in screw, bolt, through brace, lurking still, panel or crossbar or floor or sill, in hub, tire, felloe, spring or thill, there is always a weakest spot. Now, in building of chaises, I tell you what, that the deacon finished the one-horse shay. It was on that terrible earthquake day, left without a scalp to its crown, and Braddock's army was done so brown, saw the earth open and gulp her down. That was the year when Lisbon town, snuffy old drone from the German hive, Georgius Secundus was then alive. I say, 1755. Have you ever heard of that? Frightening the people out of their wits. Scaring the parson into fits. I'll tell you what happened without delay. And then all of a sudden but stay. It ran 100 years to a day. It was built in such a logical way. Have you heard of the wonderful one-horse shay?